Hello, I'm Glenn GUIRA. I am from the Department of Education. Thank you for your invitation. I'm here to present to you the topic that was given to me, which is selecting and framing the research problem. From the topic that was given to me, let me show to you the subtopics that will be discussed as we go along to the concept which is very important for all of you, which is with regards to framing and selecting of a research problem. It is a very important part of the conduct of the research of selecting a very good research problem. That is the reason why I have chosen these different topics. It will help you, and most importantly, at the last part, we're going to develop a particular research problem by means of giving some very good examples. In any higher education institution, there are three important functions. One, instruction. Two, extension. And number three, research. That is the reason why research is being discussed today to help you understand the relevance, the significance, and the timeliness of the conduct of research, especially among college students, college instructors, because it is first and foremost their role to conduct research. I, for one, have been in college for more than 20 years, and even up to now, I continue to conduct research because research to me is very important. I am excited always to conduct research. In fact, in college, research is my favorite subject. How about you? What is your favorite subject? Can anybody tell me if they also love research in college? Let me now highlight the relevance of a research problem. For every researcher, it is very important to understand and be aware of what a research problem is all about. Now, a research problem is something that is definite. It is clear expression about an area of concern. So all of us are focused on our education, but education is very broad. So therefore, we have to identify a specific area where we would like to consider in terms of our research problem. For example, your academic performance. Another one is teaching strategy. From these particular topics, then you are able to identify specific concepts and variables where you would like to conduct a study. A research problem, on the other hand, is a particular condition that needs improvement. Every day, there is an improvement of everything that we're doing. The one that we are using, we need to improve them because every day there is always a new discovery. There is always something new that we'd like to use, that we'd like to implement. On the other hand, a research problem is also a difficulty to be eliminated. Why is it that there are still diseases? We would like to remove diseases. With the so many intelligent people in the world, scientists, doctors, and all of those intelligent people, why can't they eradicate cancer or any particular disease that is affecting humans? That is the reason why when you identify a particular difficulty that needs to be eliminated, it is a research problem. In a particular school, why is it that there are so many learners who cannot read? Definitely, you would like to eliminate this particular situation. On the other hand, a research problem is also troubling. In other words, it causes trouble that is present even in our literatures, even in our theories. Why is it that there are still those who are poor? Why is it that there are those who are unemployed? Isn't it that there is supposed to be equality in every particular community and society? This is an example of a troubling condition or situation, which could be a research problem. And another thing is, a research problem may be existing in practice. For the teachers, they have been practicing their profession and they still see some particular deficiencies or problems that need to be understood, that need to be investigated. That's the reason why when we conduct a research, we have to look first what is a research problem. So I hope you are able to understand what a research problem is all about. It is something that is in area of our concern. We want to improve it. We want to eliminate problems or the trouble in our community and into our society. In the problems and issues that is happening and that is existing in the practice of our profession. On the other hand, let me highlight this importance, or shall I say the purposes of the conduct of research. Research is towards the development of knowledge. Today, the 20th century, we are doing a lot of things. We are exposed to a lot of things. Mass media, internet, development of new ideas and innovation. This is one reason why we conduct research, to develop new knowledge. And the knowledge that is developed will be utilized by men. In medicine, for example, there are many different types of knowledge that is being developed. And this knowledge that is being developed are being utilized by men for his comfort. On the other hand, we conduct research because we wanted to succeed in life. We conduct research for educators because they want to be promoted. That is basic. You cannot be promoted unless you conduct research. So for teachers, for academicians, for the faculty of IASCC or other universities for that matter, even in basic education, they want to succeed. First and foremost, they have to have a research activity. Furthermore, when you conduct research, you seize opportunities. There are so many opportunities when you conduct research. You will know a lot of people. You will engage with the experts, with the best. You could present your paper. You can get funding. So you will be given money to conduct research. This is just some of the many opportunities. Furthermore, something very important in the conduct of research is you disprove lies. How do you disprove lies? You have to gather concrete data, evidences, and even proof, I should say, that when you bring together all of these evidences and all of these facts, you would say that such particular knowledge is not a fact. It is simply a lie. So that's the reason why when we gather data, we also support the truth. The truth is supported by hard evidences. So in research, we gather data, and the data are called the evidences that eventually will support the truth. Okay? So furthermore, when we conduct research, it builds in us confidence. Why? It is difficult to conduct research, but you were able to accomplish it. It gives you confidence. You would say, oh, was able to do it. Others can, but I was able to do it better. It also causes increase in your morale. You would be happier. It's not necessarily the money that goes with the conduct of the research, but at the same time, you will be loved by people. You will be referred. You will be invited. You will be acclaimed because you're conducting research. But most importantly, when you conduct research, ladies and gentlemen, is that it nourishes the mind. For example, when you are hungry, your stomach is experiencing stomach pain. So what do? You have to eat so that your stomach will be happy. On the other hand, how about the mind? How do you feed the mind? The answer? Conduct research. Research is exciting. Research will feed your mind. It will want you to know and learn, unlearn, understand, and continue to create, innovate, and produce. Let me now discuss to you good research begins with a good research question. But how can we develop a good research question? I'm going to present to you three important ways on how to develop a good research question. Number one, your own personal observation. I have my own personal observation. You have your own personal observation as a student, as a faculty, to your family, to your community, what is happening. If you are able to observe what is happening, that is the time where you will be able to discover particular problems that is happening in your locality, in your community, in your school, the places where you go, because you are the only one who can answer these personal observations. And that could be a particular triggering factor in identifying a good research question. On the other hand, there are also what we call practical problems. These practical problems can also inspire your minds and ideas to be able to lead you to a new research. What is happening at the moment? 19 months of pandemic. So there are so many related problems that you can focus on because of the pandemic. It is only in a matter of time wherein you will discover it, because these are practical problems. And these practical problems can be a source of a research problem. On the other hand, you can look back and read different research investigations that are published. You can go to libraries, or if you cannot go to the library by yourself, you just go to the internet and read different literatures that have been published that will help you think or inspire you to conduct a particular research. And that is something that you can develop because you are reading something that's very essential that had been published. But alas, you can see something that is missing. And from the one that is missing, that will be your research question, because there is a gap, there is a deficiency. So it is important also to consider previous research investigations, because it can give you different ideas when you're going to decide on in selecting a research question. So it is important that when you're going to select a research question, bear in mind that you have to do the following. Number one, do some background reading to be familiar. For example, COVID-19, or education, or lab life, or any particular topic for that matter that interests you a lot. Okay, so for example, you would like to study about health. Therefore, you have to read related literatures about health. For instance, you only have 2% knowledge about health. That means to say that you still lack 98% of all the information about health. What does that mean? It means that you still have to consider a lot of readings in order that you have a background of information about health and everything about this particular concept. In this manner, you'll be able to look at and discover problems, discover issues that will help you understand better and to be able to be well informed of the concept that you would like to study. Number two, answer the who. Of course, who are your respondents? Whom you're going to gather your data? What are you going to gather to them? When will you conduct the study? Is it for 6 months? Is it for 1 year? Is it for 2 years? Where are you going to conduct the study? The entire Philippines? Entire Region 1? The province of Ilocos Sur? Or only your barangay or your community? And then you ask yourself, what should be the topics that I would like to consider for my research problem? And another thing, very important, is you have to narrow the topic to be very specific as possible. Health, for example, that is very broad. You have to consider something more specific. Are you going to study about physical health? Are you going to study about mental health? Are you going to study about social health? Okay? So in this particular manner, you are able to identify those that are specifics in nature so that when you identify what is specific, you will be able to narrow the topic and go on to conducting your research problem. Let me give you some clear example on what we have discussed a while ago. For example, COVID-19. Of course, it is a very broad topic. Okay, now you would like to consider a more specific concept where you would like to study. For instance, you'd say, under COVID-19, he would like to conduct a study on what are the effective treatments of COVID-19. So it is more specific because the COVID-19 is a broad topic, but you were able to reduce that into something more specific. Now, let's go to the research question. For instance, because you were able to identify a specific topic and the effective treatments of COVID-19, you would like to focus on a particular research question, whether virgin coconut oil or the VCO is effective in treating COVID-19. And after that, you would like to go deeper since you have discovered that it can help in the treatment of COVID-19, your virgin coconut oil, you would like further to discover what specific volume of the VCO would be effective in treating COVID-19. Is it 1 teaspoon a day? Is it 2 teaspoon a day? As to how many days? Up to how many weeks? And so on and so forth. In this particular manner, you are able to really focus on something more specific from general COVID-19, from specific the treatments that you have identified, and the specific volumes of VCO that must be taken by the respondents to be able to discover if it is effective or not effective. Now, let me give you these important qualities of a very good research. In order for you not to forget this one, you can use the first letters of the qualities. It is called finer maps. Okay, I repeat, finer maps. F stands for feasible. You would like a study national in nature. Okay, national in nature from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It's not feasible. It's even impossible for you to conduct a research that is nationwide in nature. Why not? Very expensive. If you're a student, I would not even recommend you to conduct such kind of study. So it should be feasible or possible for you. So conduct a study in school so that your respondents would be students, so that you can be accessible to the respondents. You are near them and your expenses would be enough as compared to conducting a national research that would mean millions. Why spend millions if you can conduct a research that is similar where the respondents can be accessible? Number two, of course, it must be interesting. Think about that. You look at a particular research that really close to your heart, that is interesting, that will excite you more, that will make you feel better because you really would like to pursue this particular type of research. It is novel when it is original. There was one time I conducted a research about female teenage pregnant senior high school students. My respondents are the female senior high school. But I said, this is no longer novel. What makes it novel? So I changed the respondent to the partner of the female. That makes it more novel. Why? I haven't seen a research wherein the respondent is the partner of the pregnant high school student. So that makes it novel. Number two, number four, ethical. Of course, you have to consider the 14 ethical considerations in the conduct of research. No? These are very important because if you're not going to follow the 14 principles, your research will not be ethical. You are not following the right process in the conduct of research. For example, you are supposed to get their permission. You have to get their informed consent. That's very basic. You do not gather data unless you get their permission for you to conduct the research. You're not going to tell their names. That's anonymity. You are not going to tell what you will gather. That is confidentiality. And you treat your respondents or your key informants the same or equal. Okay, so that is what we mean by justice and all of those ethical considerations. Of course, when you conduct research, it must be relevant. Relevant to the times. COVID-19, it's relevant. Education, it's relevant. Dinosaurs, oh, that is irrelevant. There are no longer dinosaurs. It is manageable. You would like to conduct a study about diabetes mellitus and there are 4 million diabetes mellitus and you would insist that you will get all the 4 million diabetics in the Philippines. You will not be able to manage it. That's not what research is all about. You only get a portion of the 4 million. Furthermore, your research must be appropriate. You are a student, therefore, your focus probably would be about student activities, students' performance. You are not supposed to conduct a study wherein you do not belong to that particular category or organization. or you don't have the expertise, or you don't have the qualification. You are, for example, into health or midwifery, but you are conducting a research about criminology or engineering. That is not appropriate. Your research should have, I should say, a potential value, a value that when you're going to finish it, there is an output, and the output would affect or would benefit, I should say, your respondents, your community, and it can improve also the development of the country. And last but not the least is systematic. Mean to say that you have to follow processes, that you have to follow the phases of the conduct of research, you have to follow all those relevant steps in order for you to accomplish your research. That is the reason why you have to start first with the conceptual phase with regards to the development of a research problem. Now let me present to you the different sources of literature review that you can use. That is important with regards to familiarity of the topics or the research problems that you are going to conduct. So I have mentioned a while ago that reading about your topic is very important because this will give you background of the study and the research problem that you're going to pursue for your research paper. The first on the list is the Institute of Education Sciences, or the ERIC. We have here the website which you can access anytime, 24 hours a day. The content of the ERIC are all education concepts, whether the basic education, higher education, everything about education perspectives, all types of research assigned. And what is good is it is free. You only have to have an internet to be able to access all of the information that you would like to consider. And like all internet databases, you can choose the specific copyright year where you would like to read. For example, you only want 2020 up to 2021, and that is possible. You only have to click. It is user friendly because you will just click those particular information before you will actually search all of those particular literatures that you would like to consider or that you would like to read further to upgrade your information and to familiarize yourself with existing research that has been conducted that is in relation to your present research. Furthermore, we have another one. This is a very popular internet database. It's called Google Scholar. It houses all journals that are published. It is free, and at the same time, it is very accessible. You just type this particular website, and in a few seconds, the search box will appear, and you're going to write the keywords that you would like to read about. For example, COVID-19 or online education. And after clicking the search box, it will provide you with millions of published materials. And from that particular number alone, it would result to a lot of readings. And that will really help you a lot. You can choose whatever you would like to read. Okay. Another internet database is your ScienceDirect. This is an internet database where the content are health related. Okay, so the publications are very current. You only choose, of course, the keywords that you're going to uh, key into the search box, and then you are going to choose also the copyright here where you would like to be included, in the conduct of your literature review. So this is also very crucial part when you are into health related type of researches, and at the same time it is free. You only need to connect to the internet to be able to have access to the millions of literatures that are published in ScienceDirect. For those who would like to read about thesis and dissertation, ProQuest would be the best type of database where you can download dissertations that are conducted around the world. So the what I mean is the thesis from the first page up to the last page, from the title page up to the references. It is all there. You only have to be patient in looking for the appropriate type of thesis or dissertation where you would like to consider reading. This is something very accessible. It's a very nice database. And for those who are pursuing masters and thesis, you can use this as your references, and you can read a lot of papers that are published here. And at the same time, just like the other internet databases that I have mentioned, it's all free. Now, furthermore, in pursuing a particular research paper, it is important for you to uh, be specific further. Now you are focused, for example, in conducting research about education, and you focus on the new normal. And we all know that in the new normal, we are using, for example, virtual learning. And you would like to focus on specific types of virtual learning that is effective in teaching the students, and they can understand, they can comprehend uh, the lessons of the teacher. Another significant specific concept that you'd like to consider in your research related to virtual learning is the factors that make virtual learning effective. And at the same time, what support is needed to enhance learning in virtual education. These are very specific concepts and topics that when the student would like to focus on this, then it is possible. I'm just presenting to you some of the specific concepts that you would be interested in pursuing after you have identified a particular broad area. And another one is that you would like to determine the problems encountered by students in the conduct of virtual learning. And that is also a specific type of concept where you can focus it with regards to the conduct of your research. Okay. Now, let's give some examples, no, on how you are going to pursue a particular conduct of the research. So, the first thing is, of course, you are going to have to identify a particular broad topic. Okay. So, for example, you have chosen the broad topic, which is education. So all of you are interested with this. All of you are related to this because you are in a higher education institution. You are studying at ISCC. So therefore, this is a particular broad topic that is really related to all of you. But since education is broad, you have to subdivide this into something that is more specific. Okay. So you would want to consider the other topics, okay, of education. such as, for example, school. Okay, there are different types of school, or students. There are different types of students. It could be in the elementary, high school, college, graduate school. You could also focus on the faculty, or you would want to consider studying only academic performance, or you would like to focus more on the teaching strategies. Those that I mentioned as subtopics all fall under education. So we identified a broad topic, and we also subdivided the broad topic into something that is more specific. After you have already identified these subtopics, you will already perform reviewing of related literatures about the subtopics. So you will read about schools, students, faculty, likewise, academic performance, and different types of teaching strategy that requires a lot of patience, perseverance for you to be able to read all this particular literature. For example, you have chosen 10 each. So 10 for school, 10 literature for students, 10 for faculty, 10 for academic performance, and 10 for teaching strategies. So you'll be able to read 10 papers about these particular subtopics. Of course, it is very important. I tell you, reading is very important. It gives you information. It gives you pleasure because you will learn a lot of things when you are going to read. Put down your cell phone. Do not do anything. Just read and understand and comprehend. Read once, read twice, read thrice the topic that you are reading. It will give you a lot of information pertaining to your particular topic. And then from your particular reading, you are now focused on one particular specific topic. What strategy to improve performance of students during the pandemic? So you would like to discover what specific teaching strategy will improve the performance of the students during pandemic. So you see, from the broad topic and from the subtopic and from after reading different related literatures, it boils down to this particular research concept that you would like to discover or that you would like to research on. What is the teaching strategy that is needed to improve the academic performance of students during the pandemic? Now, since you are focused on a particular teaching strategy, that's not the end of that. You have to identify what specific teaching strategy. Is it online learning? Is it video-based learning? Is it radio-based learning? Is it simulation? Or is it internet-based learning? Or any other strategy for that matter? So that's the reason why, after you identified already some specific parts of your research problem, you have to go more specific. From strategy, which type of strategy would you focus on in the conduct of your research? And in that manner, you are able to frame the specific research problem because you have been able to discover these things from the broad topic up to the most specific part of your research paper. Now, this is now your research title. I say that it is a working title because this title can still change after you will defend your final research paper. So, for example, this internet-based learning, its effect on problem-solving skills of college students. In this particular research paper, you have identified a teaching strategy, which is internet-based learning, and you would like to discover its effect on the problem-solving skills of your respondents, college students. So that is very important. So you see, we are able to identify then a working research title from the examples that we have shown. On the other hand, you can also choose this particular title, Effects of Internet-Based Learning on Improving Problem-Solving Skills of College Students. So between these two working titles, which would you choose from this? Whichever you're going to choose, these two working titles are already research problems. They are appropriate, they are manageable, it is novel, and it is feasible. Let us have one more example. No, so the broad topic is about COVID-19 pandemic. But of course, COVID-19 pandemic is very broad again. So let us subdivide this broad topic into the following. What specific topics can you think of that is related to the present COVID-19 pandemic? Of course, number one, the frontliners, the nurses, the doctors, and all healthcare professionals. Of course, vaccine is one relevant concept. We always mention that. We always read the news about vaccine. Face mask. This is one way to protect us from infection from those who are positive with COVID. Lockdowns. This is one way for us to reduce the movement of people in the city, in the community, in the rural areas, so that we can reduce transmission. In social distancing, all of these five different concepts are all subtopics under COVID-19, just like what we did a while ago with the first title. After that, you have to read related literatures about the subtopics, about nurses, about vaccines, about face masks, about lockdowns, and about social distancing. In this manner, you will be provided with complete information, background, and you will learn a lot once you're going to read. Now, after reading these literatures, you were able to read a particular literature that is asking about the reasons why people do not like to be vaccinated. You haven't read any literature that is showing the reasons why Filipinos, why people from different groups, from different societies, from different places in the Philippines do not like to be vaccinated. And this is what you would like to focus, because in your reading, you're able to discover that there are no research topics or research studies that were conducted with regards to determining the reasons why people do not like to be vaccinated. Now, this is now your working title. After you have done the broad to specific type, the working title would be Factors Related to Vaccine Hesitancy During the COVID-19 Pandemic. Or you would like further to discover the factors related to vaccine acceptance during COVID-19 pandemic. So you see, these are two very novel type of research. Those who do not want and those who want. And then you would like to discover the factors why people do not want to receive or people who would like to receive. That is something that you can focus with regards to the present COVID-19 pandemic. And with this, we are able to identify now a title where you can already focus on with the conduct of your research. So it's nice that we are able to identify a working title from the samples that I have given you, and I hope that with this, you will also be able to identify a working title which you are going to conduct later on. Now, I would like to share to you this, a quick guide to a successful researching. Number one, pursue scientific progress by improving periodically. You read, you participate, you excel, and you be part of any research team because you will learn from them. You be with experts. You relate with experts. Engage with them because that will help you improve. You learn something. You learn statistics. You learn how to analyze data. You know how to present data. Publish collaboratively with your peers. Yes, you can bring together all students, all faculty as one, and then you can pursue and conduct research. There is a principal investigator, there are members of the research team, and there are those who gather data, there are those who also interpret the data, there are also those who will write the data, and so on and so forth. Be proactive also. You must support research continuously. Do not stop. Continue to learn because learning is important for you to become a better researcher in the place where you are working as a student, as a faculty, or any particular place for that matter. And then you must be able to have a professional development in an open dialogue. Active listening, because you cannot learn that inside the classroom. You listen to those who are experts because you will get a lot of ideas. You'll get a lot of wisdom from them because from their experiences, they can share it with you. Because when they share it with you, you'll also benchmark and you will use it by yourself so that you'll become very good researchers also in your school, in your class, or wherever you will be in the practice of your career or in your profession. Now, finally, as a researcher, it is important that when you conduct research, you're able to discover a lot of things. You're going to engage, you're going to link, you're going to be part of a particular community where you are conducting research, where you're able to answer all of these questions, and you continue to find answers to all additional questions, additional inquiries, issues that may happen every day that you will encounter as you continue your career being a researcher. And with that, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to speak to all of you, to the students, to the faculty, to the administration. I'd like to thank you for this one, for this opportunity. I hope that I was able to express myself and give some samples to be able for you to select properly and how you're going to frame your research problem. This is very important because when you are able to select properly and frame the research problem, it is easier for you to pursue and continue with your research. This is a guide for you to become better researchers now and in the future. As a final quick advertisement, these are also things that I am doing. I've been advocate to these different types of research activities, and this is my advocacy. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. I'm a researcher. I'm a publisher. I truly love the research. I'm excited to always do research. Even if I sleep at night, I dream about research. And with that, thank you so much and mabuhay tayong lahat. God bless you all.